Amina Faki was a trailblazing Kenyan broadcaster, revered matriarch, and one of the most enduring voices in the country's media history. For more than 6 decades, her voice carried into homes across Kenya, earning her national recognition and deep affection within her community. She passed away peacefully in December 2025 at the age of 83, leaving behind a legacy defined by professionalism, mentorship, and quiet service. Details about Amina Faki's early life, formal education, and parents remain largely private, as she lived much of her personal history away from public scrutiny. What is known is that she came from a close-knit family and was the sister of 2 brothers, Frank Hussein Omar and Ali Omar. Family remained central to her identity throughout her life. She was a devoted mother of 4 children, Faisal Mubarak, Kamuzu Hassan, Arafat Hassan, and Hassan Salim Jazan, whom she raised alongside a wider community that came to see her as a maternal figure. Amina Faki's professional journey began in 1963, shortly after Kenya's independence, when she joined the national broadcaster, then known as the Voice of Kenya, VOK, later renamed the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, KBC. Entering broadcasting at a time when the industry was still taking shape, she became one of the early voices that helped define standards for Kenyan radio. Her long tenure at KBC suggests that she underwent specialized training in broadcasting and communications during the formative years of the country's media landscape. She rose to national prominence through her work on KBC Radio Taifa, where her calm, reassuring, and authoritative voice made her a household name. In the 1990s, she dominated the airwaves as the host of a popular mid-morning show, a period that firmly cemented her status as one of Kenya's most recognizable radio personalities. Listeners came to associate her broadcasts with warmth, consistency, and trust. She was also widely remembered for her signature sign-off catchphrase, "Ciao," which became one of her defining trademarks. Even in her later years, Amina Faki never truly stepped away from broadcasting. She continued contributing to the industry through appearances on stations such as Radio Kaya, where she featured in segments like Muliko la Kaya. Her continued presence underscored her deep love for radio and her commitment to staying connected with audiences across generations. Beyond the microphone, Amina Faki was known as a mentor, role model, and pioneer. Many younger broadcasters grew up listening to her and later described her as an inspiration who shaped their understanding of professionalism and ethical broadcasting. In recognition of her immense contribution to Kenyan media, KBC honored her in 2019 through its #LivingLegendsKE campaign, celebrating her as a living legend whose work had helped build and sustain the nation's radio culture. In her personal life, Amina Faki was widely known as Mama Amina, a title that reflected her role as a source of comfort, hospitality, and guidance within the Caliph and Bulbul communities. Her home and presence were often described as steady and reassuring, and she was deeply involved in charitable efforts and informal mentorship, especially among women and young people. Over time, her public identity evolved from that of a celebrated broadcaster to a respected maternal figure whose wisdom extended far beyond the studio. Financially, there is no public record of Amina Faki's net worth. Her livelihood was largely tied to her long career as a broadcaster within the government-owned Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, as well as her later contributions to community radio. Unlike political figures or high-ranking public officials, she was not required to make public wealth declarations, and her life story has consistently emphasized service and impact rather than material accumulation. Throughout her more than 60-year career, Amina Faki maintains a remarkably clean public record. She was never associated with scandals or controversies, a rarity in public life. On occasion, her name was mistakenly conflated with other public figures bearing similar names, including politicians and contemporary media personalities involved in public disputes. However, public documentation consistently distinguishes her as a figure defined by integrity, community leadership, and mentorship, rather than controversy. Amina Faki passed away on the morning of Sunday, December 21, 2025. While the specific medical cause of her death was not publicly detailed, family and colleagues described her passing as peaceful, noting that she had aged gracefully. In accordance with Islamic rites, she was laid to rest the same day at the Ngong Muslim Cemetery, also known as the Bulbul Muslim Cemetery, with burial taking place after the 4 p.m. prayers. Following her death, tributes poured in from the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, fellow journalists, and members of the public. She was remembered as a pioneering voice, a living legend of Kenyan radio, and a woman whose life was dedicated not only to broadcasting, but also to nurturing people and communities. Amina Faki's legacy endures in the standards she set, the voices she inspired, and the countless listeners who grew up with her voice as a constant companion.